record on this. So did you
Okay.
get a dialogue then?
I got a box.
I think you have to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll have to start again. So we had a tiny technical.
Tiny technical difficulty.
What's the correct term? Cock up?
Yeah,
If
that
it's
would be
screw
it,
up,
yeah.
I don't know. So
But don't worry, everybody. It wasn't my fault. It was his.
I'll take the hit. So we nibbled into 10 minutes of our hourglass on Zoom.
Yeah.
But what we were talking about was bots controlling the amateur radio JST programs. And like Greg had said, we've both seen these programs you can buy, and we were discussing this through email, and somebody, I can't remember, I think it was me, said, well, what's the point of this? I don't understand. I really don't, other than it's just a numbers game.
Well, as we've said, a lot of the various parts of the WSG, I'm going to say,
I can never remember it. That's really terrible.
JT65, FT8, and all that.
Yeah.
A lot of those programs are, for the most part, quite automated already. If you happen to have been born, one of those desktop toys, the bird that always bangs,
the drinky bird,
the water bird,
I've got one of those.
All he needs to do is just push his beak on the keyboard. And he's making QSOs, that guy. And so there is a lot of automation already in this program, but now there is this software that you can buy which interfaces with that program to allow complete automation, in which you don't have to be there at all, and it will rattle off and answer calls on these various digital mode derivatives, you could say. And you can rack up your contacts while you're in bed asleep, or off at a party, or kicking a dog. It's
making a video.
You're making a video for silly YouTube. So it's
you can complain about it.
So
I really don't.
We know the function and the purpose, but what is the mentality why a person would feel that they need to be making contacts, or what is the goal? Is there any benefit? Do I live longer if I have 1 million FT8 contacts? Probably not.
Whoa, that's now we're really getting in there deep. I really do not understand the purpose of this, other than like we talked about before. I mean, so in amateur radio, you're making contacts, and I'd mentioned that here in the States there are different, I guess they're like goals or contests to rack up those things, but that's the only reason I could think to do that. But is there any? I don't see the value of doing that if the computers do that, and I think you jokingly said, well, so are we going to let the computers take the tests then to become?
Why not? If they're the ones making the contacts, then they should be the ones getting their licenses. Why should I?
Well, you didn't do the work. You threw the money down.
Else is doing it.
So this is like a lot of things, this kind of bolts in with our earlier discussion, which is, what are the goals here?
Now, if a person is wanting just to, maybe say they want to work all states with FT8, but they don't want to put in the effort to sit at the keyboard and push the button like the drinking bird. If they don't want to do that, they don't want to put in the minimum. If they want to do less than the minimum, but they still want the award, then have they really earned that award?
You know what?
And even if they did earn the award, does the award mean anything to anybody?
No. To answer your question, the award doesn't mean anything. So why even go that far? Why not just go and find an award online and print it?
Print it out.
No, I mean, if I had awards in the background that said I worked all 50 states, would you know any different?
No, I'm an idiot.
Well,
I would,
that's for another video.
What I mean by that is
you don't know
what an official award would look like.
Yeah, but I mean, I could get out some crayons and paper and write that. Hey, I've got a major award.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't part of that to say, yeah, I worked 50 states and it took, I don't know, what's a good goal for that? It took a year to do that. I mean,
it could be. It could be.
I mean, I know when I've been on the air a few times and I've gotten people that are on that track or that path, and they get I didn't realize this, but apparently there aren't too many amateurs in the Midwest anymore. And people are really excited about it. They're on you. They want to get the contact, they want to get it in the logbook, and they want the QSO card or the logbook of the world,
to prove it. Yeah.
For for Nebraska, Iowa, our population density here is a bit low, but they were genuinely excited about it. Where, I don't know what the excitement of the drinky bird contact is. I guess we'll use Greg's analogy and label it that.
Yeah.
Patent pending, or there's a copyright on that. He gets a nickel every time we use the word drinky bird contact.
Like, I can understand like the effort and the skill that it would take for someone to do, say, worked all states on SSB HF, because there are a lot of areas that are perhaps always in a skip zone that are really difficult for you to get to.
And that may be
to the guy 1,000 kilometers away, but the guy 300 kilometers away might be really tough.
Yeah, that could be really hard.
On 20 meters, you might be able to do him on 80 meters.
And that is an excellent.
But trying to do him on 20 could be a real pain in the neck.
Yeah, and that you might have to rearrange some equipment or some antennas to do that. I've had that happen before on neighboring states. And God, I worked this forever, and I finally got one of the states next door to me. Yeah, you are 100% right on that. It's not like picking up the phone.
No,
people do that anymore.
Phone. I think we have a couple of these mobile phones, but
yeah,
I haven't seen.
They're more
phone years.
They're computers, though, right? They're not phone. They work as phones.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Oh, that's wow. Who knew?
They're everywhere.
I always wanted, just FYI, off to the side, I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to call you on my phone just to see if I could do it.
I'll make sure it's in the middle of the night.
Which would be during the day for me.
Yeah.
So just so people know, there's some logistics in even setting up these discussions. We're 8 hours apart, and then I got to think about it. That's where using UTC comes in case people don't know. There's a standardized time. You lockstep to that. It makes it a lot easier. Or you can go on the internet, use one of those fancy tools. You can see a few ads. I think I saw some ads for senior dating. Certainly don't need any dating, and I don't think I'm a senior. I don't feel like it.
No, I actually did. I didn't trust your calculation. You sent me the time when we could do this, and I didn't trust you.
That's fine, because I've screwed it up before. To tell the truth.
And I was so lazy that I did actually go onto the internet and check Nebraska time. So, but you were right this time.
Well, if we're gonna admit things, so
no.
My watch, this is terrible. My watch, so my watch does UTC. So I woke up in the middle of the night and it was 6:01 UTC, and I thought it was 6:01 local time. So I jumped out of bed, flew into the bathroom, flew over to the computer, and just as I'm bringing up the computer, I look over the clock and it's 1 a.m. I'm like, I'm never going back to sleep. So one more of life's screw ups. But yeah, I to back up, I don't see the point of this. I really don't. I mean, if you were building the program to do the automation, that might be interesting. I might buy that.
Yeah, from a programmer's point of view, if that was your thing.
But I don't see the end user.
No, it's and it really does pander to like the most laziest, person out there, doesn't it? It's really a product for the lazy.
It kind of smacks of just, like you said, lazy. I mean, if you're doing this and you're watching this and you're doing this and you're taking offense, tough. That's an opinion. Everybody has
if people
someone.
Want to take offense, they should go and have a look at my other videos. There's plenty to choose from.
Definitely. So, this is where we interrupt the program to A, annoy you, and B, make things generally irritating. So Greg has a Greg's had a number of channels over the years. His latest channel is it's your cue. You may poke the box here.
All right. Well,
I couldn't have timed that any better. If you'd like to promote your channel.
Well, it's not, I'm not here to promote my own channel because I don't benefit from it in any way. But if people
because it isn't automated, because it doesn't have a drinky bird.
It doesn't have a drinky bird.
There's another nickel out of my pocket.
But the channel is radio.oh2dx.
That's your email, isn't it?
They aren't going to look anyway, and if they are watching this, they probably already know where I am.
No, but Greg has a way of bringing up some bringing light to things, and then there's usually an angry mob that forms.
There is.
But that's fine, that maybe we need more angry mobs, and we need more light, harsh light shined on society's issues. I don't, it isn't the issues that are the problem. Well, they are, but it's the reaction to them, right? I mean, nowadays something comes up and people's reactions, and I don't know why this is, they just seem to be so harsh. I mean, you brought up a couple things. You had a video about the league, kind of the radio league here in the United States, but I do have to readily admit, it made me think about something. I mean, I kind of thought these things, but it's one of those things where I'm just some crackpot. I'm the only person that thinks this is not right. No, not necessarily. It's a stick. It's got a kind of a sharp point on it, but I don't know, maybe these things need a sharp point once in a while.
Yeah, well, if things aren't questioned, then things are permitted, then things can go off onto a very, ugly course. And if there's nobody if nobody complains, then how would the league know, or how would anyone know that they're like not fulfilling their duties if nobody tells them?
I mean,
everybody's so wanting to make everybody happy with all this ham spirit of love and flattering of everybody all the time.
Wait a minute. That was a book I bought from them. You telling me that I wasted money on that Sunshine and Lollipops from the League book?
Maybe it started off with this political correctness type kick, but now, especially hams, they seem to be so. Unless you're either flattering them or receiving flattery, or unless you're blowing bubbles up their bum, they think that you're against amateur radio, and that's not true.
You can order that online, right? That's a product.
It's probably, yeah. It's
we should link to that, and then if it's from Amazon, we get a cut. That was mean, but it's funny. But you can. Right, you can.
That's right. Go on.
You can. There's nothing wrong with saying something. Well, I don't agree with that, or pointing out something without it turning into World War IV.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, you can always just say, "Well, I never thought about it," or "It doesn't concern me." I mean, that's where just stuff in general. There's an issue, and you got like the polar this is gonna get dangerous. I'm gonna use the right and the left, whatever's.
Oh, them's fighting words.
They are. Well, why?
It shouldn't be.
But I mean, it's but the majority of people are probably in the middle, right? And you can even have people that are I would say I'm going to use the word right affiliated or left affiliated, but they can have different opinions, right? I strongly believe in this, but that's not so much, but not against it. I mean, that's the majority of people. They kind of waver back and forth. Why do they have to be divided into two groups? Who dropped dead and well, they have to be blah blah blah. Well,
yeah,
I mean, there's some, I don't know, I could use some examples that they probably aren't appropriate on here, but I don't understand where if you point out something, why suddenly it has to turn into a fight. I mean, can we just talk about things to think about?
Yeah, you'd think that if everybody's, or maybe part of the problem is that people's goals aren't the same.
Correct.
They should be. We should all be working towards the advancement of amateur radio. But when people put their own personal wishes and desires ahead of everything else, and everybody has their own differences of what they want, you end up with so many fractures when people put their own personal choices and wants ahead of what is meant to be the main goal. And I think my criticisms are just reminding people of what the main goal is. It's okay for you to have your personal ideas and what you want, but that is not the most important thing. You're not the most important person on the planet.
Well, exactly. There's where that's where the rubber hits the road is, we don't need to go to South Africa and start, nailing our goals on the natives' feet, right? It's, I don't know. It's so polarizing, and it's so, it seems like you literally only have two reactions. Either you get out there with your boxing gloves and you're ready to duke it out, or you curl up in a ball. And maybe that's the idea. It's a shock factor thing, and you get the majority of people to curl up in a ball. So then the fringes really are controlling what's going on, and the rest of people are just kind of flowing along with the. I don't know. Yeah. It's an interesting thought.
Maybe the problems within amateur radio are also, like, maybe you said this a bit earlier on, maybe it's like, in a way, a reflection of other parts of what's going on in society as well. Society as a general rule is really quite fractured and unloving. When was the last time that you spoke to your neighbor? Well, I don't know about you and your neighbor, but most people, it's a wave when they're backing out the driveway in the car, but do they know really what their neighbor is like? Do they really know him as a person? Do you care enough to know what their problems are? Most people probably not. When I had my house in Australia, I was living next door to a guy for 15 years, and we worked on one fence project, the dividing fence. We worked on that together. It was 3 or 4 days work together. We had a great time, but I never spoke to him ever, apart from that. And I don't consider myself to be like antisocial.
Yeah.
But do we really, if we can't even be, maybe society is just too screwed up.
Well, but is that a spin-off of just the way things, are a lot of people on the, get up, get ready, go to work, run on the treadmill, come home, and you've had your fill of
crap throughout the day.
Yeah, so I was going to use the word BS, but the goal is to fight your way back home with a bunch of other knuckleheads that don't know how to drive, and just to get in your house and close the door and just to close it out because you've had enough. I've just had enough, and I can honestly attest to that. I don't need any more
drama.
Yeah, I was going to use the word external stimulus. That made it sound nice. It's a very laudable goal, but you just have had enough. You really have.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bigger picture, I think, there. But again, that's, if somebody exposes that and shines a light on it, why does it even have to be a harsh light? Just, hey, do you know this is going on? It's I'm going to get into some dangerous territory. It's like laws that get made in the city. Well, when do they schedule all these meetings or these times where you can discuss the law? During the day. Well, I don't know about you, but I work during the day. I won't make time to take off to go down and joust at City Hall over some parking ordinance, but I probably should, right? Isn't that a civic duty? That's the word. I don't know. Is that even right?
Yeah.
I'll be the first to complain about it, though, after they air it on the TV. Oh, that's crap. Why are we doing that? Well, I don't know. So I guess maybe amateur radio is at fault for not setting some clear-cut goals here. Is that fair to say? Do you know what the goals are? Or what the, not even the goals, what the benefits are, what the, You know what I'm getting at here?
Yeah, go on.
You know, well, I mean, so why would I want to join amateur radio? What's in it for me? And that doesn't even sound right, but you know, there's the basic stuff, you know, but you know, these are the kind of these are the guidelines. You know, I don't see any clear cut other than some very specific rules. Where does this take me? What does this do for me? Again, it's like being in school. You know, I'm going to learn typing. This is going to do what for me?
Yeah,
I'll be really honest. When I was in high school, they had typing. Well, I didn't take it because I didn't plan on being a receptionist. That really dates me here, right? I mean,
yeah. When I was young, you know, typing was just for the girls.
well, that exactly. I wasn't going to be a receptionist, but now I mean, is there a day goes by that you don't type on a keyboard?
That's right. Yeah.
You know, so it's not just for the girls anymore. Wonder when that changed.
Yeah.
But I didn't. You know, and I'm a poor at best typist. I'm terrible. You know, this will come back to haunt me later. I can hunt and peck with the best of them, but you know,
you're okay. You know, you at least can spell your name right. I can barely manage mine. It's only 4 letters.
That's cut and pasted. I know how to operate the cut and paste key.
Yeah, cut and paste, you know, and press the spell checker to make sure it's right.
Well, that's right. You know, I'm not going to get into spelling. You know how me and my spelling. My problem is I get excited and I just want it to go and I don't care. But you know, I don't know. It's pidgin English, I guess, maybe. But again, what are the goals of amateur radio? You know, there's some clear-cut goals. I mean, there's so many different areas or facets that I don't know if you can have all those. You know, there's a lot of emphasis on exposing young people to amateur radio. I mean, what is that, to expose them to the technology and stuff, or is that to get more members, or a little of both?
Well, it's
I'm just
of course
asking
there has
here.
to be new members because you know you have to replace the ones that are dying off.
Correct.
But you know, which is the same in any, you know, even at your workplace, they always have to, you know, bring in new guys because the old guys are eventually going to retire, or move on to some other job. So there's always a process of bringing in new guys. But is just bringing in people, bodies, is that the purpose?
No, because if they, in my opinion, if you bring in new people that are uneducated or have no reason or goal to become up to the same level, doesn't that dilute the overall pool, right?
Well, that's right. And again, back to like the example of in your workplace, you know, the boss's goal isn't to hire more just more random people. He wants to hire people with that have skills, or that they can train to have the skills to make the company more profitable as time goes on.
Correct.
And this is, you know, getting back to this, you know, from the other recording, you know, how that, you know, just the league's desire mostly just to get new licensees, whichever way possible, even very low level licensees. That seems to be more what their goal is, but it shouldn't be their goal. The goal is to be creating better amateur radio operators. Doesn't matter what their class or their license is, whatever they are, they should be educated, and they're really failing at that now.
So is that so? Just help me out here. So is that actually stated somewhere that that's the league's responsibility to educate the?
It is. They're under the legal responsibility.
Is that part of the charter, or
part of the charter that they have to promote education wherever they can? That is their major goal.
Okay, so it's a goal,
but then
it's stated.
But then, you know, how they
carry it out.
How they carry it out is completely up to them, and really quite unregulated and not checked up on. So they could say education is, you know, a monthly magazine full of advertising and, you know, a few words of text showing something, you know, They don't. There's no definition of what really their job is. And
okay. Well, just so you know, they're doing a really great job of that monthly magazine with a lot of advertising part, if that's the goal.
But even their yearly yearbooks, you know, there's
don't get into that.
Oh,
do it. I dare you to.
No, not on this one. The video's not long enough. Don't get me going.
Well, just to divulge the thing here. So I bought a league yearbook, and I couldn't buy it from the league. I had to buy it kind of third party, but it was a ham shop, which we won't advertise. And it's got downloadable content, which is kind of interesting to me that there's a two-prong thing there, which is first, I have to, so the league has a web page, you fill it out, you're supposed to get the downloadable content. Well, remember when you sent cereal boxes away to get that thing, that prize? It was like 10 to 8 weeks. Well, I'm just working on like 12 to 13 weeks here. I still haven't got it. So I filled the form out twice, and I've even sent an email to marketing, and I still don't have the downloadable content. So another spin-off of that is, so I buy a brand new book, I get the downloadable content by hook or by crook. The years from now, I sell the book to Greg for $1.
That's a good deal.
But, yeah, it is a good deal. But let's say I've lost the disc or the code to download the content. Can he get the content? Because it kind of cripples the book up a little bit. Because and I can copy this and we can stick it somewhere. That didn't sound right, but that came out horribly wrong. But the article goes along and it says, "Well, see the rest of the downloadable content for the rest of the article." So it kind of leaves you hanging. So are they like doing this on purpose? Is this some kind of a like plot? And even the magazines do this now. Oh yeah, there's like a little bit, and then there's the see the downloadable content. Well, maybe I should cut to the chase and get the downloadable content and leave your magazine in the dust or book.
And like, how cheap are they? You know, how much was that book? How much
it was a set. It was I mean, yeah. Anyway, this looks like a book. It was a set. It was $79 to my door.
So why didn't they just stamp a CD or a DVD and then stick it in the back cover?
They used to. The older books have them, because in 2014 I bought an old copy, and it had a CD in it that was unopened. And then the year that they came out with the book, the set, the boxed set, that I'm speaking out of turn here, but I believe this is correct. That had a code. You punched in the code, and it was a one-time download from the league's website. Now there's no code. You just have to. The idea is that you get the book from the league, and they give you the download, which is not true, because a year back, the league bribed me to rejoin by giving me a book. It's a $50 book, but I never got the downloadable content. I never got the code, and I asked, and I just got silencio, and I don't know who to talk to. That's why that was the joke that I was thinking about asking your YouTube, he's smiling, girlfriend.
You talking about my lady friend?
Yes.
Oh.
But you said you guys were on the outs, so I thought,
we're on the out. Yeah, I think it's over between us. Yeah,
I'm very sorry. I know you worked on that relationship quite hard.
I worked on it pretty hard. Yeah.
Like most things in life, you said the wrong thing and made somebody angry.
I did, and she did not want to answer my questions, and so she decided to end our relationship.
Yeah, but so to get a little further afield here, so you asked what I felt was and there's a video about this. You asked a legitimate question. Did she just not want to answer the question, or she did not know the answer to the question, or did she perceive this as some personal attack?
Maybe a bit of everything.
Okay, that's fair.
As I've said in comments and other videos, I think I don't think that she's dumb.
No,
but she may not be aware of everything. That's okay.
Nobody is.
But even if you're like, there wouldn't have been any problem for her to say, I'm not sure, or I don't know, or
That's
let
fair.
me get back to you when I work it out. I'll make a call to my friends.
Yeah, those are all acceptable answers.
Yeah, and even if she had said that and then forgotten or whatever, yeah,
that's fine.
whatever.
You know, one more of life's tiny little disappointments, but that's not. Instead she got like kind of happy with you.
Yeah, she got
out of
upset
shape
and decided to end our interaction. So you know.
Oh well. But yeah, so so to go the other way, yeah. So I bought an $80 book and I've got like half a book, and I'm a little grumpy about it. So I'm not sure which direction to go. I thought about returning it and seeing what kind of trouble that would cause. But
Well,
I have opened it.
If they promise is the downloadable content like said as it's a gift or as a
no, it's part of the
bonus?
book. So in 2014, this is really interesting because this is backward on my view of the screen here.
Looks good here.
Okay, so this is 4-1, I don't know, but anyway, this book had a CD.
I don't see a problem with that.
So I don't know here. So here and all I'm doing is advertising. So here, this is the book set. I give them credit. They've broken this up. It used to be like one giant book that rivaled the thickness of the United States phone books. And they had a box set. I'm going to get off the topic a tiny bit here. So now they just have the set. They don't, that box is too expensive to build. We can't oppress people in India to build cardboard boxes. But I was trying to figure out, but it,
so the reason why I said is that if it was considered to be a bonus or a gift,
no,
well then they don't have to give it to you. But if it's part of the, if it's what you expect as part of the purchase price,
I expected.
Then if they don't provide it to you, they've actually broken the contract.
Well, yeah, I was trying to find a thing here, right here. Downloadable supplemental content. So this is chapter 22, and they're talking about BNC crimp instructions. Well, I'm really out a lot there.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because, well, here's things about, reference tables and TV deflection tube guide. What the heck? I'm not making that up. I'm not making that up. This is 2002, and we're talking about picture tubes. Crimp instructions for end connectors, miniature lamp, or as Greg would say, globe. I just love the language differences and things. Yeah, but it says supplement. I mean, the supplement is like an addition to, not.
Yeah.
But even if it was a gift, if you promise it, shouldn't you get it?
Yeah.
It's a hook to get you to buy the book, right?
Yes. Exactly.
Buy this book and get with a big blue symbol and lots of stars, additional content, right? And so that was probably maybe one of the reasons. Okay, so the real question here is, so the other book, I joined the league and got the book free, but I didn't get the downloadable content. So was that a gift?
Yeah.
Very theological. I need to, it's very, that's, he's smiling. There's the, it's, but again, like you said, I'm really thinking seriously about telling the company I bought this from, I'm going to return this because I didn't get the whole product. And just to see if I can get a spark. That's the problem here, is I can't get anybody to pay attention. I know I'm a crackpot,
We know that. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah,
fine. Thanks for building my